Well, good morning. Looks like everyone has their coffee and their donuts, and we're ready to go. You might notice it's a little different than our normal shoot. We always have Chuck Burnett here to do a shot, but when we get the head cameraman from the Video Producers Club here doing it, we'll also understand we have a timing situation today, so we're going to be doing a little bit more shooting. If we're all good and we behave ourselves, we'll probably find it on channel 3. I want to welcome you all today to the Historical Society. Let you know that Gene McKenzie in that spiffy outfit over there at the end is be happy to pick up your dues if you'd like to pay today. Then wanted a minute to explain about the docent program. We've got it pretty well put down now. We're looking for people who would like to help us. And Dorcas and I Corey and I had a discussion about whether we should call it DOCAS, a docent program or museum assistants. We thought maybe people were a little put off by the word docent, and it felt a little bit hard, but it's really just helping out in the museum. So we'll see what happens. And if you'd like to, please feel free to see me after the thing, and we'll talk about it. We do have one new docent, Mike Mahoney, who's here somewhere, who's opening the museum on Monday nights for a while, and we'll see how it went. We had a very good turnout. It's nice he has an audience of the community singers are here on Monday nights, so we gave him a chance to have some people come by and say hello. We're doing this today on the Video Producers Club, which is part of our oral history program. As you all probably know, we've done over 20 oral histories now of various clubs and organizations in Leisure World. And most of them have been taped by Chuck Burnett, and they are on file now in the museum. This one, we're going to go back and talk to one of the early clubs in Leisure World. It's now called the Video Producers Club because they have this nice, easy, small cameras. But many, many years ago, when Hal Robertson, who's one of the original members, who's going to talk first today, was a member of the club, they called it the Portapack Club. That's because they had these big batteries that they called Portapacks they had to carry around with them wherever they did video shooting. So that's how it started. What we're going to do today is we're going to have 4 members of the Video Producers Club talk to us. We're going to start out with Al Robertson, who's one of the original members of the Portapack Club. And then we'll go on to Kay Pettigo, who has been with the club for many years. We won't say how long. We never ask a lady how long she's been doing something. And then we're going to go on and talk to Joe Asuna, and then who is, I think, past president now of the Video Producers Club, but does a lot of the camera work for Channel 3. And then we're going to go on to Dick Davies, who introduced me to the club, and who is another past president of the club. So, Hal, if you'll come up here, and we'll let you start out with the program.
Boy, this almost too much for an old man. I don't know how I came into this way back in, I'm not sure of the date on this, probably in '94. And some of the members that were there at the time were James Cloud. You know, how old you get, you can't remember anything anymore. I was reminded by this paper that Kate gave to me that brought to memory a lot of things. That was the days of James Cloud, Francis Linney. You'll see some of their pictures back here. And Paul Rowland was one that I worked with in the Portapack Club. I remember hauling a lot of equipment from place to place. When we first started, one time we went clear up into LA, carried all this equipment, and we did a tape up there. And I remember unreeling all the hoses, all the cables and whatnot. And that was even before Dick Davies came in. And Kate Pettigo, by the way, yeah, Kate Pettigo's going to say something too. Anything she knows, I taught her. It was wonderful to have Kate. Kate and I worked together a lot and did a lot of video together, a lot of editing. I don't know, like I said, I missed so much along the way. I do remember when Michael Landon was here and at Highway to Heaven, they were stationed over in Clubhouse 2. And that's where all of the video was taken at that time. Keith has put together a lot of things here. I see my name on so many of well, one of the big items that we did was, of course, the flood. Any of you remember the flood?
Yes.
Yeah, I was out there early in the morning, and I remember right out in front of my place, here was a Volkswagen sliding down the water yet, all by itself. And then, of course, the main thoroughfare was just a mess. All the water that came over the middle portion there. I, of course, remember the Super Bowl. Kate was in on that. Oh, there's a bunch of names I don't even remember. Lee Sherry, Angela Sweeney. And then I remember the big quake that Bill Duran went through, and then he brought a lot of the video from that. The Sports Hall of Fame, that was really something. I remember when the Lawrence Golf entertainers were here, and all the GRF health lectures we went through. Kate gave me quite a resume here. Oh yeah, Barbara Boxer, Senator. And Dave Clow and I had something to do with that. Pool and billiards, masquerade ball, disaster drill, summer dance festival, naval weapons station. Let's see, the earthquake fair, that was something. And of course I mentioned the Great Flood, Health Expo, Memorial Day, and of course I remember when, who was it? Man, Westy, there it is. Westy Wasserman. Anybody remember Westy Wasserman?
Yes.
He had his 100th birthday here in this clubhouse. And James Clow and I videoed that one. Oh, that was something. A lot of memories. I appreciate what Kay has done. Kate. And, she was a wonderful secretary. Besides being a video operator, we did a lot of things together. What else can I say? I know minutes are up. Are the minutes up?
Minutes up. Do we want to watch the videos?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. Watch the videos?
Yeah, you want to see that? Yeah. Okay, let's look at some of them.
That's pretty important. We have
That's the world's champion free throw. I'll just show a little bit of that. And then,
we should set some free throw lines. So everybody knows how to shoot free throws, but they don't know how to make them. It's in all the bookstores, and it's supposedly the best-selling book on
he put in something like 2,000,
video instructional.
2,500 free throws without
Shopping because he gave us
stopping,
make
without missing.
By the way, 12 years. What inspired you, or what made you decide to join the Producers Club?
Well, it was one of our former quarterback members, Jim Cloud, who got after my wife. She was the one instrumental in getting me into the club. And Jim was prodding her to get after me. And so what she said then was, well, my birthday was January 18th. So she said, gave me that birthday card and said, I'll buy you a camera. The camera was on the birthday card, a picture of the camera. And she said, if you join the quarterback club, not the video club, quarterback club, that was known as those days. Yeah. And I said to Jim, I said, well, I guess it'd be a good idea. I just retired December '89, so. And I didn't get the camera. I got it for my birthday. That was an Alta, I guess. Yeah, an Alta camera. So that's why we got started.
That's when you got started. And from there, we couldn't stop you from producing, could we? You and Hank Markey?
Hank Markey.
Markey used to co-produce the Leisure World Bowling Tournament.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that was something the bowling club wanted us to do, was to, it was a playoff between the Tuesday League and the Thursday League. And they thought it'd be an interesting show to put on Comcast. And so we started to do it, I think, just with individual cameras, I think 3-camera shoot. And then finally, I think it was either Marla or what's the other girl's name?
Susan, one of our coordinators at that time.
Yeah. Said that why don't we use the van, truck, with all the equipment, and then we go 3/4 inch.
Ready?
Okay.
With it here. You met a lot of good friends doing the video producers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Jim Clow, Francis Mooney, Paul Rowland. You know, there was a good crew of people went there.
Paul Rowland and I came in the same time.
You guys took the
We were
class
in the same class. Right.
Yeah. I don't know if you're ready with that.
You were on the camera.
I That was up there, was it?
We had a nice spot there, yes.
Yeah.
The other one was just a shot in the bowling alley. I was on the camera on that one. Somebody took it, one of the, I think it was Earl Tisher, he was in our club.
Yeah.
I think he took this picture. Had it in the newspaper.
Yes. Well, you guys did quite a bit of taping and everything. Now,
to make it happen. And so far, we have never gone live with Inside Leisure World. I don't know whether we ever will, but it's something that's been in the back of my mind for some time.
would that be nice if on a Friday afternoon or something, or when we do it now, we could go live and people in Leisure World could actually go ahead and see us and then
And tape for later shows.
and tape it for later shows. Yeah.
Good idea.
But I don't know, I think the highlights of I think everything I've done has been
Somebody else take it over?
You think it would work if I just leave this right here?
I think so.
It is really amazing how many videotapes that Al Robinson was involved in. I don't know how he had time to eat. He was so busy on the camera. I brought my little camera along to show you folks how things have changed over the years. This does just as good a job as his camera or that camera, and I can almost put it in my pocket. Wow. My husband, Tex Pettigo, helped run the first telephone line across the state of Texas. A lady in my video producers class told about sitting at a table in New York where a man told of future plans to send pictures over the wires. When I was about 10 years old, my friend invited me to try her big brother's crystal set. One used a metal needle to make contact with words on the set. I later knew some people who received programs over their They put their earphones in a large ceramic bowl on a table so everyone could hear the program. Soon after I moved to Leisure World, I joined a video producers class to learn about their programs. My friend Carl McWade had been involved in this program and I thought I would like it. He had also been president of Mutual Fund. My first big project was inviting my Pasadena Geography Club to visit the Naval Weapons Station. Francis Looney and Jim Plow did the taping and video. Another program I think is very fine. Of 4 members, Philip Hastings, Marie Asen, Bob Lukenbell, and myself, visited the SS Lane Victory. Bob made the arrangements as he was their radio operator. Philip and Marie manned the cameras. Bob and I interviewed the officers and workers of the ship. This ship is run entirely by retired volunteer mercenary mariners with no compensation. I interviewed several interesting people to be aired on Comcast. The most interesting one was Alan McDonald. His father deserted his mother and children. This could happen in the old days, before computers. Alan left home to see the world like Tex did. He learned metalwork by working on a new bridge. He finally opened his own factory to aid the handicapped by creating lift gates and for cars and vans. In his early days, he had free transportation on the freight trains. Terence Petticoat did the same thing. Lots of men did that. The Golden Ring Association sponsors shows in the summer on Thursday and Saturday nights in the amphitheater. Later, they eliminated the Saturday night shows. Fred Cooper, Community Relations Manager, interviewed the main entertainers. We were invited to take the interview to show on Channel 3. We also taped the whole show. This was fine, as the stay-at-homes could see it on TV. A member, Angie Sweeney, took me backstage to meet the Mills brothers. Her children had played with one of their children. This was a lot of fun work for the video producers. I noticed a gentleman being present during the interviews. He was an actors union man. A little later, we could not record any amphitheater shows. Our office was along the wall in Merv Smith's emergency office, above the amphitheater seats. I felt the need of having a room on the ground floor. I met with Fred Cooper several times about this. Finally, with Dick Davies' assistance, we were given a very nice room on the ground floor in Clubhouse 5. When Clubhouse 6 was built, the exercise room moved to Clubhouse 6, and we were offered their old room in Clubhouse 5. It is about twice the size of our room in Clubhouse 5 and is fine for taping interviews. Our most exciting interview was with Bill Narang, administrator of Leisure World, and his experience during the Northwood earthquake. He told of the 2 cars in his garage bumping against each other. And the most important thing to bring with you when you leave your home during an earthquake is bathroom paper. Our next president will be none other than Chuck Burnett, the cameraman who faithfully tapes all of our Historical Society meetings. Our video producer, President Joe Osuna, will tell about DVDs and other high-tech things. Past President Dick Davies will tell about the Foundation and Channel 3. Thank you. I intended to speak this, but just to save minutes, I decided I'd read it.
Very good. Thank you.
Fine, thank you.
Hello, I'm Joe Osuna, the current president of the Video Producers Club. A little bit about technology. The Portapack during Hell's tenure as a video producer used very large cassettes, video cassettes, much larger than this one. This one's a VHS tape. So they shrunk from his time to, say, a few years ago, we were using VHS tapes. We were actually using a different version of this called a super VHS tape, which captured color better than a standard VHS tape. But they looked identical, but they would not play on a home machine. The super VHS tape would not play on a regular VHS machine, but it would play on a super VHS machine. Anyway, there was an evolution to video VHS tape. Then along came CDs that you could put some video on CDs, but they were very, very short. And CDs, compact discs, were really for audio, and they look like this. Okay, but this is a DVD. See, a CD only held 700 megabytes, it says right here, 700 megabytes of data. Yeah, and a DVD holds 4.7 gigabytes, about 6 times to 7 times as much data on the DVD, digital video disc. So now we're turning in our programs in a DVD to Robin over there in Channel 3. And she's asked to put them in about a 2 hours worth of video programs on one of these. But she still takes these, but she has to convert them to these. So right now the media is DVD. And who knows what the future holds as to what the next media is going to be. Okay, so these are DVDs, not a CD. Right now in our generation we were used to CDs, and then the DVD came along. And that's about it on technology for the Video Producers Club. We are a group of volunteers. So a lot of people think that we make assignments to go cover a news event. And they always call us up and want us to cover a news event. And we tell them that we're volunteers, and whoever wants to do it, they can do it or not do it. So it's not mandatory that we cover a community event because we're volunteers, but most of us like to cover events. So if you have an interesting community event you want covered, contact one of the video producers or submit it in writing. We have a meeting once a month, the 4th Thursday of the month. So we're meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We meet downstairs in building number 5, the northwest corner. So if you ever do have interesting events you want covered, you can always submit something in writing to us, and we'll cover it up. We'll cover that at the meeting and ask for volunteers to cover that event. Okay, that's it. Next up is the president of the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation that has to do a lot with Channel 3. And he's going to tell us all about that. Mr. Dick Davies.
I cannot remember when I joined the video producers of Seal Beach. I do remember at the time my wife was executive director of the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce, in our office downtown in the old building, and she got to know Robin, who was upstairs in the same building, and between them they convinced me to take the class and join the club. Sometime later, George Brown, I think a lot of you will remember George, asked me to join the Seal Beach Cable Communications Foundation. And that was 98, was my first year. We were on 2-year terms. I was reappointed every 2 years through this last year. I've been president for 3 terms now, I guess. And the foundation is responsible for the running of Seal Beach Channel 3, which is on cable. I suppose a lot of people do have cable, and the program starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, goes to, it's 11, isn't it, Ron? Yeah, 4 to 11, and a variety of shows are shown on there. Those are programs that are put together by producers, either downtown producers or Leisure World producers. And also there's 2 programs that are put on live. The Seal Beach Council is put on live, and the Planning Commission also is put on live. And they are also shown at various times during the month following the live program. So you can see either live at the time they're being run, or later Sundays usually, I believe, they are shown. Let's see. Can you think of anything else to tell you about?
Who's Robin?
Robin? Those of you who haven't met Robin Fort Linke is Executive Director of Seal Beach Channel 3. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
The Seal Beach, the TV studios, who Dick Davies talked about, introduced Robin. Please say a few words.
Thank you. I'm recovering from some kind of bad cold, so I sound funny. I got involved with Channel 3 back in 1991 when Hal was on the Seal Beach Cable Foundation Board of Directors, along with Jim Cloud, Paul Rowland, and 2 other people from the Old Town area. And there was mention of the Portapac class. And originally, as Joe Suna mentioned, the cassette tapes were much larger. They were called 3/4-inch tapes. But it took 2 people to operate it because the camera did not hold the cassette. It had a separate tape deck connected to the camera. So if you can imagine, it wasn't as simple as just picking up the camera and going to shoot it. So things have evolved greatly over time. Over the years, Hal did many bowling tournaments. I don't know if you watched some of those today, that were held at the bowling alley. And the amphitheater programs, a lot of the medical lectures. The Video Producers Club had done so many productions that I think are to the benefit of the residents of Leisure World who can't attend a lot of events, whether they're lectures or dances or musicals, plays, and what have you. Also over the years, the Cable Foundation actually belongs to a national organization called the Alliance for Community Media. They are a group there's legislation that is passed, either in individual states or federal legislation that affects public PEG centers. And a PEG center is public access, education, and government channels, which is what Channel 3 is for the city of Seal Beach. And over time, in the very beginning of cable, it was kind of like the Wild West. Cable television was brand new. Cable companies made a lot of promises with pie-in-the-sky type cable franchises. And over the course of time, I think they began to, as cities really developed their community channels, they realized that that channel was taking space that could be used as a commercial enterprise. And so over time, in 1996, a law was passed that allowed cable companies not to have to continue to provide community channels. We are fortunate in Seal Beach that in the negotiations that happened since then, that they have continued to provide it. In 2006, a law was passed in the state of California that affects all the PEG centers in the state of California. It has to do with the phone companies wanting to get into the television market. And that law has had a detrimental effect on a lot of the PEG centers in the state of California. We're fortunate that we've had some impact, and we will continue throughout this year to have to be adjusting to the impacts of that law. But I think it's unfortunate because the community channels are the voice of the people of that community, and it's so important. And I would think in this day and age that we would, and the way technology is changing, that there would be more of an effort to enhance the community channels rather than cause their demise, so to speak. And the national organization that I was speaking about, the Alliance for Community Media, every year the Western States region is the chapter that we belong to, holds a conference and an awards program. And over the years, since about 1989, Channel 3 has had winners, producers who've produced award-winning programming every year since about 1988 or 89. And some of those programs are produced by the Leisure World Producers Club. And I do remember, because I participated in the 40th anniversary parade for Leisure World, that program actually won 2 awards. And that was a big undertaking. There were probably, 8 camera people, I think, all over the place. And so as new people come into the group, I think everybody should be very proud of the Producers Club and all their hard work, because I think it's such a benefit to this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. Robin, we can't let you get away without giving you a cup as well, and thank you for making me a part of the community group. One more thing which, when Joe was talking about technology, he didn't mention was that the VHS tapes only have a very short life comparisonly. And one of our members, Sylvia, is working on putting the tapes onto DVD, so we'll have it permanently in there. And I was going to be showing that 40th anniversary tape in the other room until we decided to use the film out here. But it's also in our library. That 40th anniversary tape is really very well worth watching. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. It's been a history. When I first moved here, Hal Robertson was the person in the club. Now you've seen all the people who have been there following him along. I want to thank you all very much for coming today and making this presentation. Many of those tapes they talked about are on file in the museum. And as you can see, we're set up show them. In fact, we can show the S tape. We bought a machine. We'll show the VHSs as well as SVHSs as well as the VHSs, and we can show the DVDs. So when you're here either on a Thursday afternoon or on Monday evening, you can come in and look at them. And the machine normally works better than when it was doing this morning. So, but it's not that difficult to operate to show these things. I want to take a minute and thank each of our presenters and give them a memento of their time here, which is a Leisure World Historical Society cup. I'll start with the lady first, and thank you very much, Kay.
Just exactly what I need.
And then to her left is Dick Davies, and the cup for him. And then I'll move across and thank Hal Robertson very much for doing that. And then we'll give one to Joe soon enough when he gets done from behind the camera. But thank you all very, very much. Thank you, Chuck, for being here, for always doing it. Chuck got the first new cup. Our old cups finally wore out. We only had one decal on it, but Chuck got the first one that has a decal on both sides. So no matter where you turn the cup, you know what you're drinking. But just a couple things to remind you of. I want to also that our next meeting is May 27th, which will be the Leisure World Radio Club, and then August 26th will be the Ice Cream Social, and will be the Leisure World Community Church. And if we put there's some copies of the highlights over there, which we put out on a quarterly basis. And if you don't get the highlights now, you'd like to do it, please sign up. Again, thank you all very much for coming, and thank you very much for the Video Producers Club for putting on the presentation.